I 24M have recently proposed to partner 24F after being together for almost 4 years, with a short, 2-month break 1.5 years ago, but I'm reconsidering. Let me preface this by saying she comes from a somewhat wealthy family with maids and I come from an abusive setting. Yes, I've dealt with the trauma. Should be a happy time, planning wedding and our future together. I've began to become increasingly annoyed with a large amount of her behaviors that I already knew about, but it was easier to let them go than deal with it. Behaviors being messy, unsupportive, not helping with bills, reluctant to have time maybe 1x a month, also just having different goals and priorities. Before her I was a guy who always confronted issues head-on yet diplomatically. This approach has never worked with her, and despite trying new approaches she shuts me down quickly and never gives me a chance to express my issues concerns. I work full-time, study full-time and built a house for us and do everything around the house. When we moved in 9 months ago, I figured she would help pay a portion of the mortgage and bills because that's just what couples do. She never offered. After 2 months of this I confronted her and she told me this was my goal so I should be responsible for it. We both make a reasonable enough income to cover expenses with relative ease, so the issue is not money, it's the fact that she doesn't understand contributing her share. We lived together before, she moved in and I never bothered to split it because the rent was very cheap anyway. If you're wondering about the break we had, I was the one who said I needed it after I finally got a big promotion at work after working for 8 months 15-18 hours daily, 6x days a week. This promotion allowed us to spend time together and start really setting up our future. Only negative being my shift would change from 5 a.m. 9 p.m. to 2 p.m. 10 p.m. I came home, told her the great news, practically jumping through the door, and all she said was, "Well, what about us spending time together?" and started crying. I reassured her and told her this promotion will make things much better for us. Around an hour or two after this instance subsided, she still had not congratulated me. So I asked her, "Can I get a congratulations?" And she just muttered, "Congrats." I was so frustrated. The month leading up to my transition into the new position, she told me not to take the promotion because it would mean we wouldn't get to spend time together. I again explained the maths of the shift timings. I got sick of this eventually and told her that I'm going to take the promotion and she needs to tell me right now if she's on board or not. She didn't give me any answer, so I said I'll find somewhere else to stay for now. During this time I rekindled with a couple of previous romances where things just didn't work out, but ended on good terms. Only one stands out to me, we'll call her A22F. We knew each other from work, we had a number of dates, but she was more interested in another guy who she later had a baby with, and then he cheated on her, so she ended things. This was the same timing as my break with current partner, so we kept each other company, and old feelings began to swirl again. After some complications A had with her baby daddy, she returned to him to try to give her baby a family. She explained herself and asked me to wait because she said she was sure he will cheat again. I understood her point of view, coming from a rough background, and we ended things amicably again. So fast forward to now, and I, as mentioned above, proposed to current partner. She said yes and then has continued poor behaviors, which was making me second guess things a little. Numerous people from work had a Christmas get together about a week ago and A was also there. We were talking and her baby daddy cheated on her again. Just as she said he would. While we were talking we were flirting a little and I dropped her home. She doesn't drive. Then I drove myself home. We only hugged goodbye. I haven't been able to get her out of my mind since then, and even immediately after I proposed to current partner, she was in my head. Since seeing and talking to her again my heart is just so heavy, man. I cry the second I'm alone because it just hurts. And I don't even really know why. I just miss her. With marriage on the horizon, I want to figure this out before things get too messy, so just searching for advice or for others to share their viewpoints. Thanks in advance. Story 2. I've M24 just discovered my GFF24 of 5 years drunkenly sexted and exchanged nudes with a guy, and she's considering cheating further. This was all set up and encouraged by her friend. Like the title says, and I know my girlfriend is definitely the one at fault here, but I'm also furious at her friend. We were in bed last night and she was asleep. Her phone dinged and then again a few minutes later, and I just wanted to see if it was something important, but it was from a guy's name I didn't recognize, asking if she was coming on Friday because they would need to book a table. I never snoop because she has never given me a reason not to trust her, but I looked and it destroyed me. Basically, after reading the messages from him and her friend, this guy is not from here, but he went to college here for a year, and while he was here he was a duck buddy of sorts with my girlfriend's friend, and now they're just friends. He's back on holiday, and now that the friend is in a relationship she won't cheat but is quite happy to encourage my girlfriend to cheat on me. My girlfriend was out for drinks on Saturday and this guy was out with them. After the night out, her friend started messaging my girlfriend saying this guy liked her and could she give him her number. My girlfriend was reluctant at first, but the friend kept pushing it and eventually asked if she could send her an old DCK pic she had of him to convince her. Again, my girlfriend was reluctant but eventually agreed to the pic, but instead of the friend sending it, she gave the guy my girlfriend's number anyway, and he messaged her. She sent a couple of angry messages to the friend but chatted to the guy anyway, and once he brought up the DCK pic she agreed and he sent it, which led to the esting, and she also sent him a partial nude. They finished by him asking if she would meet him on Friday, but she was non-committal but also didn't say no outright. There was also messages from her friend the next day saying she should meet him, but she wouldn't commit to it in those messages either. I did wake her up and confront her because I was so hurt and angry. I haven't had a wink of sleep and I don't know the best way to proceed. I didn't get a chance to see if she responded to him this morning, and now she's at work. I know alcohol is never an excuse, but if she says no to meeting him and the drunk-esting is the extent of it, I might be able to forgive her. I need advice on how I confront her. Should I just say it when she gets home, or should I try and see what she responded to him? If I confront her straight away, she could always just delete the messages and say she wasn't going to meet him even if she was. Update: I've M24 just discovered my GFF24 of 5 years drunkenly sexted and exchanged nudes with a guy, and she's considering cheating further. I've since learned that she did fully cheat on me. Hey everyone, thanks so much for all the advice and sorry I haven't been responding. Yesterday was probably the worst day of my life. My now ex is a different person seemingly overnight, and vile is probably the best word it used to describe her. She had already cheated on me again twice, including physically, before I even made my post here yesterday. I looked at her phone again when she was home from work, and she had responded to his message when she woke up agreeing to meet him on Friday, and he took this as a green light to SXD her again, because that's exactly what they started doing when he responded to her about half an hour later. I'm in the kitchen making breakfast, having not slept a wink because of what I saw the night before, and she's in our bedroom doing it again, getting ready for work. Then when they'd had their fun, he told her he'd cancel his plans for the day if she'd meet him on her lunch break. What's the culmination of their little meetup? Him sending her another picture when he'd got back from meeting her of his DCK with pink smudges on it from her lipstick, and them having a big laugh about it. 5 years down the drain so she could SXT and suck off summer shoal she barely knows in what I can only assume is a rent-a-car in some lane near her work. She destroys my life, and between the tears and apologizing the only explanation she can give is that she has no explanation. He would go back to his country next week, and she would never see or be in contact with him again. I know a lot of you are probably going to say she's done this before, but she's never given any indication of it, and based on how pathetic she's been at hiding this from me, I really don't think so. She's a really gorgeous girl and gets a lot of attention from men, so why now? How do you go from 0 to 100 like this? I'm so angry I can't even be upset yet. Redditor's reactions, story 3 after. Redditor 1, under no circumstances consider her requests to try again. Had you never mentioned it or found it, she would not have. The chance this guy would have been the last is very low. The thrill of doing something bad and getting away with it would inevitably lead to more and worse. You don't want to hear it, but it is unlikely this is the first time. It's better for you to open your mind to that possibility, because it will make stealing yourself versus her begging for chances so much easier to deal with. Only forwards. She showed you what kind of life partner she will be. It's a thanks but no thanks to more moment. Redditor 2, wow man, so sorry about that. So she thought since he was going away it was the perfect crime. Was the previous cheating with the same guy just recently? Redditor 3, man, you deserve better and highly doubt it was your fault. You'll never get the answers you think you need. Take this as a blessing and work on yourself. It's gonna be a long road, but you got this. Story 3, 6-year relationship ended in one night. I'm a M27 and my ex is F25, and our relationship ended about 2 months ago because she cheated on me with a guy from her work. I caught her texting this guy in a flirting way, calling cute, saying I miss you. She broke down and said it didn't mean anything and that she wouldn't do it again. I didn't believe her, but since I had made many mistakes in our past and she stuck with me even though I have hurt her, I decided to be more of an adult about the situation and give her a second chance. I told her if I catch her again I will leave, end of story. Fast forward 6 months and I end up seeing this guy's car in her driveway. We don't live together. I was furious and tried calling and texting her, but no reply at all. It was over, so I just left. Since then she has not contacted me at all to even try to explain herself or even an apology for him being there. I reached out to her for my own closure, being positive and not mentioning what happened that night, and just thanked her for helping me grow and learn from our relationship. She replied back, but it was just a generic similar message to what I wrote out. Not much thought or reflection involved. Anyway, I just found out her and the guy she cheated on me with started dating, and it really sucks. I gave this girl multiple opportunities to not be with me during the 6 months we were together after the initial cheating, but she didn't take them and instead led me to believe we could work and was cheating the whole time. Why do cheaters have no respect or decency to just leave? I can't fathom it. Take the outs I gave you and just go. You don't have to destroy someone in the process. Redditor's reactions, story 4 after. Redditor 1, some people are scared to be alone. If they have someone locked in, they move to the new relationship. If not, they hold on until someone new commits to them. You dodged a bullet. Redditor follow-up, but if they have someone faithful locked in, why would they take the risk with someone who is not locked in and committed to them? I know most cheaters even admit that they were stupid, but I just don't get, if you have someone you supposedly love, why would you do something that would certainly throw it all away? Just can't keep their legs closed. Redditor 2, She's clearly a broken person and did her best to break you too. The relationship won't last. Relationships built on lies and deception rarely do. Y'all clearly didn't belong together due to all the trauma, but she's clearly the type to run from her problems. Eventually problems will manifest in the new relationship and she'll run from those too. The best thing you can do for yourself is accept there will be no real closure and close this chapter of your life to focus on healing. She wasn't the woman you thought she was and the relationship damage was too deep. Sadly, she's too mentally weak to confront the failing relationship and chose the coward's way out. Redditor follow-up, why worry about her? She's gone. What does even mentioning what her future is gonna do for Op? Op clearly and admittedly had his issues during the relationship. But you completely ignore them. What happened with this relationship was for the best. Op should do the same. Forget about her as she's forgot about him. Redditor 3, there is always gonna be people here to provide reassurance. Yeah, there is a high chance their relationship won't last, but unfortunately you're stuck focusing on the wrong thing. It just doesn't matter. She has given you the greatest gift of all, freedom to go choose someone who will love to you and not lie. She on the other hand will probably continue to in some capacity. Go live your life and stop worrying about hers, it is the ultimate revenge. Story 4, my GF of almost 4 years cheated on me with my best friend. I'm so lost and have no idea what to do. My girlfriend moved out a few days ago saying we both need to work on ourselves and took all of her things. Coincidentally, she left the same day as my friend who was staying with us. We've been friends for 7 years. I let him stay with us because we were all mutual friends before and he's been unemployed. I gave him money, clothes and a place to stay. Before today I had no idea they had slept together, multiple times. I've spent the last couple days trying to improve myself and apologizing for not being there. She spent the last few days saying she wants to work things out, I just need to do better and she does too. Today he FaceTimed me and came clean. He's saying I haven't been a good friend and he did this to get revenge on me, and he's sorry and loves me. She is saying I pushed her to this point with my actions and it's basically all my fault. I have been distant, but my mom has also been in the hospital, so it's been hard for me to be emotionally available. I never cheated on her, I never hit her and I tried so hard. Why do I still feel like the bad person here? I also never stopped her from leaving. That's what hurts the most. Why didn't she just leave? Other info: my age: 22, her age 22, his age 20. I also have screenshots saved to explain better if anyone is interested. Edit: thank you all so much, the feedback has been insanely helpful. Edit 2, they are both currently blocked on everything including him on Xbox. I did message them longer than I should have because I was trying to get a good answer and justification. I have had them blocked since last night after saying what I need to say. I have zero intention of ever letting them be even a slight part of my life ever again. Thank you guys. Redditor's reactions update after. Redditor 1, yeah. Walk away man, it's not a salvageable situation. Turn your focus towards the things you'd like to pursue. Get motivated, exercise, get a hobby, learn a skill, etc. I'm sympathetic to your situation because the same thing happened to me. I got an apartment with my GF, allowed my best friend to move in, and a few months later I was moving out and they got together, not entirely in that order. Don't let them win. I know it hurts, but brush it off to the best of your ability and let them know you can live without them, because I promise you you can. People do ducked up it when they're young, they're confused as ever, resentful, and spiteful. You don't need to hate them, because they'll hate themselves for it, assuming they have even a shred of decency, or eventually would like to be decent human beings if not you already won. Just focus on accepting that these things happen in life, don't play the victim, don't become bitter and resentful because then they'd win, they'd bring you down to their level. It's not easy, but nothing worth it is. There's valuable lessons in all tragedy, so do your best to learn them. Good luck, bud. Redditor follow-up, yeah, well. C'est la vie. We can't escape tragedy, it's an essential part of life. What matters is your ability to deal with it. You'll figure it out. I could offer a slew of anecdotal advice, but the tools are intrinsic within us all. As I said, you may be bitter and resentful for a time, just don't let that seep too far into your being. Where to go from here? Well, you have to ask yourself what fulfillment means for you. What is it in life that gives you purpose? It's okay to not know now, but you'll need an answer eventually. It could be as simple as playing an instrument, writing, gardening, photography, etc. whatever. I suggest you think about it, and when you find something that clicks, give it your full focus. Go to school for something if you can want. I just think it's important to have a purpose to invest in, you know. Build something for yourself. There are perks to solitude, recognize them, embrace them. I'm not advocating being alone forever. Too many just blindly invest themselves into others, and so their happiness as a consequence becomes dependent on someone else, and it's a frail thing, even on the best of days. It's a beautiful thing to be able to create a life with someone else, but it can only be fruitful if you invested properly in yourself, you know. At least that's how I see it. So begin to do that. The field is wide and wearisome at first, but the more you explore things, the sharper your scope becomes. Redditor 2, a guy you called a friend who you feed, clothed and gave a place to stay did this to you. He is definitely not a friend and I would wash my hands of him right away. What did you do to him that he felt like he needed revenge on you? And shame on your girlfriend. You drove her to it, is BS. I'd probably say goodbye to her as well. For her to do this when your mom is in the hospital is crazy. I'd be questioning how many other times has she done this. Sorry this happened to you, dude, you are better without them. I know it hurts, but do yourself a favor and get rid of that toxicity and find the girl who deserves you and a friend who knows what that really means. Redditor follow-up, for her to do this when your mom is in the hospital is crazy. I'd be questioning how many other times has she done this. Doesn't matter in what circumstances. In my opinion, you simply don't do something like that at all. Update, X made an Onlyfans with the guy she cheated on me with, who happens to be my ex-best friend. I made a post the day it went down with details if anyone is interested. It's been just over a month since everything happened. I've been no contact since the day I found out. I had to tell people to stop updating me because the details are gross. They have videos of them having time already on there and she's promoting it all over. She used to care about her image and was weary about what she posted because of her professional job. Now the link is in her main Instagram bio. She actively seeing other guys besides him and is doing drugs partying. I just can't get over how someone can do such a 180. We lived together for almost 4 years and had plans of being married. It seems like now she's just throwing her entire life away. I know I dodged a bullet, but it still hurts thinking that someone I held in such high regard is capable of doing this to someone who loved them. Anyone else dealt with an ex going off the rails after cheating? Trying to make sense of this. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, she's in some sort of spiral. Steer clear, and I know it hurts, but you are so unbelievably fortunate that you managed to escape that relationship before it became difficult and she brought you down with her. Redditor follow-up, yes, she is a whirlpool right now, stay away or she will take you down with her. It's unfortunate, but whatever her reasons are, she ultimately done this to herself. Redditor 2, you are fortunate, 2 pieces of garbage walked out of your life by their own accord. Op answer, that is true, in a way I am thankful this happened, so I could see their true colors. On the other hand, it hurts that even after what they did, they're trying to get a rise out of me and doing hurtful things. Redditor 3, sounds like you dodge a massive bullet, to be honest buddy.